Welcome back to Raising Kids in Yorkshire. This morning we are exploring museum gardens, and actually this place back in 2017 when we visited York for the first time, well I visited York for the first time, but Darren actually lived here, not in 2017, but more on that later. So when I came to York and I was here in this garden or park, I was like, what is this place? I was blown away, and let me show you why. I love history, and this place just delivers, especially on sunny days like this. It's a heaven to be in a city and enjoying all of this around you. And here we are, right in the museum gardens. There's a museum, surprise, surprise. This museum is incredible for kids who love dinosaurs, who love history, nature. It delivers on all of those. There's some costumes to play and try on, and it's massive inside. You wouldn't think so, but it is. Right there, so this is definitely, it's not a free museum. You do need to pay to visit, and I'll put the link below. You could see, I'm not exactly sure how much because we haven't been for about 2 years, but kids visited last year with school. There's a guided tour happening literally right now. This here is some ruins of St. Mary's Abbey. I was standing here and this is where I made the decision to move to York. It was sunny, we were having ice cream. I was about 7 months pregnant with my first, and this was the place I was just like, I really, really want to live here. And as you know, since then, we made Yorkshire home for us and our 2 children. It's glorious here. It's just, Museum Gardens is also a home to observatory. Right there, let's go walk over and I'll show you. It is rather very busy in the gardens today, but I'm sure they won't mind. It's also there's a building here which is a popular wedding venue. So the roses are coming out, but they're not out yet. I found one, not all of them, but when the roses are out, this place is beautiful. It's a place to enjoy a picnic. Sadly no ball games. As I mentioned, if you haven't checked vlog number 1, please do. This is part 1, and this is the York Observatory right here. For all those history buffs and sky buffs, should I say, or space or sky. So it's actually really old. And yeah, there you go. That there is called Hospitium, if I'm pronouncing it right, and it is a very famous wedding venue. There might be a wedding there now, you never know. There it is. It is rather gorgeous arts and crafts building, and oh my god, if you are thinking of getting married, probably do check it out. But do bear in mind, if I was having a wedding here, I'd go in from that place straight to a boat, because River Ouse is literally just there. Very important thing to notice, that you're not permitted to drink alcohol or drink, I don't know what I mean, sniff alcohol while you're in the gardens. Same goes for York train station, which is quite nice that they're doing that. It's a nice, safe public space, and it's very, very popular. You're right in the heart of the city here. It is free to visit, obviously. And there's an event happening this weekend here, and I think that's why it's kind of extra busy. And this event is York Health and Arts Mela. In general here, what you'll find is a bird of prey experience, something for children and adults if you like birds. Our children enjoyed it. They have little tiny owlets here sometimes, and that's so cute. And it's not expensive, it's something to do while in the city. Another thing you could do is obviously visit museum and have an ice cream after. And our children quite like going around there and going around the ruins and exploring all the rocks, and they quite like doing that. It's quite a lot of children out there now, so I just absolutely love this park. It's one of the best ones, and it's so central. From here you can go to the Minster, or you're coming from Minster, do stop here. You're very close to the York Gallery here. And River Ouse, if you're taking a city cruise, this is a good place to come and explore before or after the cruise. And just enjoy coffee or an ice cream or a cold drink, non-alcoholic one of course. And guys, for those who love history, this is the plaque commemorating a creator of the museum gardens. Gorgeous building. It's just here in the backdrop. As you enter the garden, you can follow out and you're within the walls, which is of course all the York city centre has these walls and these gorgeous buildings all around. Sometimes it's like a selling point, isn't it, in York, when you're buying a property or a house, it's like it's within the walls. so if you like to be, oh my god, let me show you something. I don't know if you can see it.
A biplane, it's amazing, isn't it?
I'm being transferred to like 1912 when the first airplane was created, one of those really old planes. Sorry you had to miss that. So yeah, the property in York within the walls is priced much higher than, you know, say if you are in one of the villages like Huxby or Strensel. But if you like to be right in the middle of it all, this is the place to be. Oh look! You hear it? There! Woo! They're just doing loops around. How crazy. Another thing is, if you like all things air, there's an Yorkshire Air Museum, of course, just outside of York, near Moulton, and we have been there numerous of times, and they do an event every year where, you know, I assume they have lots of airplanes flying, because we haven't done it, so we keep missing it because we were on holiday one time and then the other time was raining and we didn't go, and one time it was cancelled. So we will go and try and check it out. That particular event, we have been to the museum, Yorkshire, numerous of times with the children, even one day in January when it was freezing cold. But yeah, back to the walls. So here you just have this little way that leads you to this gorgeous view of, you know, what it's called, Gate. This is St. Leonard's Place, where the gallery is. This is, however, is part of the wall, the entrance to the city. Beautiful. I think that's what we're gonna do. This is the York Gallery, and right here is the residence of the Abbot of St. Mary's. It's another beautiful building. You see this sort of things in York all the time, but it's so super cute. Hello, Doc. So this place, King's Manor, a very old house, the original house that's back to 13th century. And there you go. At the moment, it's one of the buildings of University of York. I'm gonna start building here because we have to go and collect the children, but St. Leonard's Place is a good place to hang out, get an ice cream, and yeah, having an ice cream with a view. Not the view of this truck though, the view of the Minster grey rooms, the theatre right there, Theatre Royale, and yeah, absolutely stunning. You are again within the walls. And what we're gonna do next, we're gonna take a walk on the walls and show you what York looks like from the height of the walls. Keep watching, check out vlog 1, why the York is the best place to live in the UK, and let us know, do you really think it's the best place to live? How does it feel? What are you seeing? Any issues? What did you spot that we kind of got used to? And here we are at York City Walls, and we're going to explore this part of the walls, which starts at the Layer Top Bridge. What we'll do, tell you a little bit about the history of the walls and some of the troubles the walls had to face. They stretch about 4 kilometers around the city. It's about 2.5 miles, and they're also known as bar walls, if you didn't know. A nice sunny day, and we're heading towards York Minster right there. So the walls date back to about 2,000 years old, and sometime in the 19th century they were going to be demolished because some city officials thought they wanted to create better links for transportations, and the walls were an obstruction. But there are a group of people here that fought, including the historical societies. They fought to have these walls preserved, and they seen them as a cultural and historical of cultural and historical importance. So I'm so glad they did, because these walls attract so many visitors every year, and it has seen one of the main attractions in York. These walls provide shade on a sunny day, a nice path. There are no dogs allowed on the walls, I must mention, and you will probably be okay with a small stroller, but ideally you want to come here by foot. You can't bring bikes here, and the walls are not continuous, so there are stretches of the walls that you'd have to come down, and you can enjoy them again. And they provide a fantastic view over some other important sites in the city, like the St. John's University, the Minster, other cottages and historic houses around York. Look at this one. Can you see this one, guys? Come here. Come here. Just look at that. Look at that house there. Let's zoom in. Oh, wow. See that? You'd never notice that roof otherwise. How cool is that?
That one right there.
I'm gonna look it up what it is, because I think it's the first time I've noticed it. So I haven't been on the walls for about...
And from here we can actually see the Ferris wheel. It's at St. Sampson's Square.
Yeah,
in the middle of York.
At the end of Parliament Street, where they do the Christmas market. I haven't been on the walls in about 9 months now, and I've done several stretches here, there, everywhere, but I haven't done a continuous wall walk. Oh, sorry. Yes, sorry. There you go. It is important to let some parts of the wall, I must say, are quite tight.
As you can see in front of us.
And it's a beautiful, beautiful morning in May. And we are on course to get the hottest summer in England, according to the weatherman.
Yeah, due to be 23 degrees today. It did start off a little bit cool. I thought it was the weathermen were playing tricks on us because it was cool. There was a little bit of rain, so you know. But look at it now; it's beautiful, blue skies. Oh, what I like are these little towers going along, so you can actually have a look and see what's about. If I actually look that way, that direction somewhere is St. John's University.
Yeah, so the earliest walls were constructed around Abaracum, which is the ancient or Roman, I guess it's a Roman name for York, Aboracum or Abaracum. They were constructed in 71 AD, would you believe? And they were primarily in stone and earth. Then, of course, there was an Anglo-Saxon and the Viking period from the 5th to 11th century. And there's some evidence that the walls were maintained and extended during that time. And of course, the Vikings, when the Vikings were in York, they used all the existing fortifications for defense. And then there came medieval expansion between the 12th and 14th century. The most visible and extensive parts of the walls today date from that period. 4 major bars, they're called gatehouses, were built during that period. And those are known as Bootham Bar, Monk Bar, Walmgate Bar, and Micklegate Bar. As you walk the walls, you could see the snippets of the history, and also you can find out more about the gatehouses that you are approaching. This one ahead of us is...
Where are we now?
I don't know when we get there. They all look very similar. I'm gonna take a guess, and I'm gonna say this is probably Monk Bar or the wall.
Yes, it is, definitely.
It's a Monk Bar.
Because this is the one which is actually closest to the York Minster. So as you can see, the York Minster is there, just tucked behind the roofs, tops of the houses. And this is Monk Bar here. There is a car park very, very close to here.
Yeah.
So I think it's called Monk Bar or Monk Gate car park.
I think it's Monk Bar.
Yeah, you can park up there. You can just cut through the way, and you can head straight to here.
And some of them you can actually, there are some museums, and one of them has a coffee shop. Does anybody know what it is? Which gatehouse houses a nice coffee shop? Drop the links below. And if you've been on the walls, let us know. What's your favorite stretch? Do you find it adds to the city? Do you find it as an obstruction or an addition?
This brings you out onto Gudrun Gate. There is a very cute little model shop here. So if we go around here, so we came down, we go round the gate, and this is the way back up. So as you can see, entrance to Monk Bar. And here is one of the oldest model shops in York. I think it's maybe the only one now. It's quite fascinating. I know our kids love looking at it. But let's carry on. So this is very, very tight, so now you can understand why it's not advisable to come with a big pushchair.
If you're around this area, look out for the ice cream shop. It's called Roberto's. Just there on the left. If it's a hot day, it's one of the best ice cream shops in York.
So it's just beautiful.
And continue on, this is the part 2. If you're new here, we are raising kids in Yorkshire, hence the name of the channel. If you are considering a move to York, or just love history and fascinated what makes the best places to live the best, click hit subscribe and like this video. We love living in York for so many reasons. And we love raising our kids here. There's so many local businesses here.
These old signs there. Look, cycle hire. Bob Trotters.
Yeah. We love the history. We love the fact that they have university here and they're developing the talents for the future and the skills. And also it brings a lot of young people into the city year in and year out. And it's good to have the vibe, you know. And equally, for all the residents, there's super nice activities in villages. And a lot of them are around York Minster and the churches in the city. So I feel like the city has a lot to offer, whether you are a parent raising a child, or a family, or students. So we're standing before 11th century Grace Court Hotel. Yes, you heard it right, 11th century. This hotel traces its route to about 1080, when it was commissioned by the first Norman Archbishop of York, and as it was the official residency for the treasurers of York Minster. Nowadays, it's just a hotel with a really amazing garden, and obviously I don't have to tell you the location is very central. But what I love about it is the garden on a sunny day like this. But if you go into the front of the hotel, it's equally an impressive building. If you can afford it, I would definitely recommend staying here and enjoying a cocktail or two in this historic house and garden. They do have a restaurant as well, and I'm going to put the links down below for you to find out more about the hotel. Some of the notable residents of this hotel over the centuries were King James I, Sir Thomas Fairfax, Dr. Jacques Sterne, and he was the uncle of the novelist apparently. And then, I guess sometime in the 18th century, the house became known as Grace Court. You can double check. If somebody knows better about this building, please drop me a comment below. So yeah, and that was when William and Faith Gray moved in during 1788. So the woman, the wife, was the diarist and philanthropist and co-founded a school for poor girls. There you go. You're kind of supporting.
I like the way they have the champagne garden, as you can see here on the sign. From the walls, hotel, restaurant, champagne garden.
And they definitely have champagne prices here, so you're paying for the location. We probably, earlier in this video, you would have heard me talking about being within the walls. So, you know, if you're located, you know, if you're an apartment or house or even a car parking space or anything, if you come, anything within the walls is regarded as a kind of a expensive and prime location in York. And properties within the walls are highly priced than if you are, say, somewhere on the outskirts in Foss Island or Heworth.
This is definitely a different contrast to the
yeah.
to the house there we just seen. It's very modern.
Yeah. A lot of these buildings carry out research and, you know, for the Minster and the university, and there's a lot of modern facilities built within the walls, as well as you know, the historic houses that you will see when you walk around here. We're looking at St. John's University now, one of the oldest universities here, and it's a fantastic building. Done a short just the other day, you could check that out. Beautiful, beautiful building. And now in May they actually have a lot of open days for students to come in and check out the facilities.
I mentioned before about this very modern looking building. This is actually the York Minster stonemasons workshop. So as we can see down the side here, you can just about see some blocks of stone which they are carving, ready to replace on the York Minster there in the background. It's a very much an ongoing project. You know, there's always scaffolding somewhere on the York Minster, but that's it. They're just trying to preserve it and keep the love. This part of the walls actually runs along parallel to a road called Lord Mayor's Walk, and as you can see just behind the trees there is the York St. John University. As Elena mentioned, it's one of the oldest here in York. Absolutely fantastic building. You know, if you get a chance, definitely jump off the wall somewhere, go across the road and just have a walk around there. It's absolutely fantastic architecture. I thoroughly enjoy it.
And they have so many new additions, but I feel like it's just a nice space to sit out. There's a cafe there during the week. I'm not sure if it's open on the weekends, but it's a fabulous little secret garden, if you want to call it that way, or a little retreat from the busy city. And York can get very busy. So if I was walking the walls, I'd probably start around 8 to 9 in the morning, and even at that we started about 20 past 9. It's getting busy, but luckily there's some rest stops here, and you could if it gets too busy or if you're getting a bit tired, take a break.
It's very nice
have
here.
A Kit Kat. It's a very York thing to do.
So there we go. So to the right there, that's the old building of the York St. John's University, and over here is the new additions. So there are several buildings around York which belong to York St. John University. Even on Haxby Road, they've got their own dedicated sports facility, and this is absolutely fantastic.
This is where we were. We just walked up there.
Yeah.
And we gave you all the views.
I do love this part of the walls because it is just so green. You know, you don't realise you're in the middle of the city.
With so many gardens, and I mean, this one garden, you had strawberries growing in raised beds, and you had a tree compost bins there. The size of the garden was magical. I'm going to carry on and try to get off the walls to show you a little bit more of the city. And I know you probably see a lot of videos in York City, so if you want to see, we live here, so we can film anything in York.
This is why I love this part of the walls.
Let us know.
The York Minster just comes into view as you come around behind all the greenery of the trees. It's such a beautiful building. You know, I can remember coming here with my grandparents when I was just 6 years old, and we also walked the walls. It's quite fascinating.
Yeah, I feel like everybody should have their walk the walls story, and you know, they've been here forever. You know, it's one of those things that you might do with your children, or you're doing as a child yourself. And it's a memory. If you are from York, or if you have been to York as a child, why not recreate that memory with your own children or grandchildren? You know, it's a lovely walk. You can get off have an ice cream or have a coffee somewhere. Here we are approaching Bottom Bar, and it's one of the 4 principal gatehouses or bars in the medieval walls of York, the city walls, and it stands at the northwest entrance to the city, just a short walk from York Minster, and it's near the start of A19, which is the road heading towards Clifton and beyond. So it's sort of connecting Bootham and Clifton here. Wooden bar is built on the side of a Roman gateway into the city of Aberacum. Some of the lower masonry in the current structure likely dates to the first century. Would you believe that?
Just sounds like the birds are just trying to kill themselves here. Somewhere in the trees.
The current gatehouse is built between 11th and 14th century. Look at the gardens and the house, the historic houses here. It's absolutely amazing. We're also very close to Treasurer's house, of course, which is the one we just passed. It's so sticky here.
There's a lot of sap on the floor
and
here.
The Treasurer's house, I've put more info. It's in hands of National Trust, and it's one of those historic houses, you know, that not on the radar, but it has recently reopened at the end of April. And if you're visiting during the summer before October and you have National Card, or if you're willing to pay and see it, do stop. Fantastic garden there as well, with fountains.
Yeah, this is the secret garden, isn't it?
The fat badger is here.
Yeah.
Of course.
Historic
Hunt.
York Historic Hunt, the
I'm going to look it up and put the
historical
picture,
treasure trail. So there you go. There is actually a QR code on here as well.
It's a bit faded though. Yeah. I don't know if you could scan it.
Duration 1 to 2 hours. So there you go. So something to do.
Hunt. We must do it ourselves sometime. Yeah. See what we can find.
Oh, why is this closed?
What?
Hang on. It may be open. Oh, it should be open actually. Let's have a look. Either that or we're just locked in the walls. There we go. This is one of my favourite bars here, purely because look at this. The old gate. Fascinating.
So the name Bootham likely comes from Old Norse language, meaning a stall or shelter. It's nice and cool in here.
Oh, it's lovely, isn't it?
So no wonder it was built as a shelter, because you could actually see the old fireplace in the corner of it. And yeah, so
there are actually steps that go up. I never noticed that before.
There you go, look up.
Anybody got a ladder? I think it's all blocked off now by the looks of it.
Yeah, so, and when you come out here, look at the view here. Oh, sorry. Okay.
So here we go. This is the York Art Gallery. This is where you can get on the hop-on, hop-off buses.
And explore more of the city beyond the walls.
Get a nice ice cream.
I get a nice ice cream. Also, we did that just the other day.
Yeah. So a little tip, if you're walking the walls and you're in the need of going for little ones, there are some toilets here just on the left.
There's also a coffee shop, which I think we're gonna, visit. We love our coffee, guys. So by the way, there's a link, Buy Me Coffee. If you do feel like you need some information, please contact us and please buy us a coffee. The toilets are right here.
Sorry, I was just going to show the sign there for
so the toilets.
This gate. So here we are. This is Bootham Bar.
Toilets are right here.
So on each of these bars, you've got one of these information plaques, and you've got here all the QR codes that you need.
2,000 years.
Tells you
miles.
everything.
Actually, it's 2.5 miles to be precise. But
there you go.
There you go.
So that's where we are. We jumped on the walls here. We walked to Monk Bar. This is where St. John's University is.
And the ice cream shop.
Yep.
Quick tip here. So exhibition pub. A good pub sometimes does not offer food, but there is a terrace.
Just over there.
Cross the road and look up exhibition. It's a great pub for a drink, to sit in the beer garden at the back. and it's the staff is really friendly, and it's a nice cozy pub. Kind of what you want on a summer and winter's day, because it's nice. It generally is nice and comfortable in there. Obviously, we have children and we don't visit too many pubs, but when we do, we try to make it, an occasion, a bit of a special visit. There's another pub we visited, in January, and just turn around to show you the.
Yeah, I was just showing the
hole
booth
in the
and bar
wall.
there.
And a hole in the wall, if you're looking for recommendations around York, this is a great place for a cheap eats. I would say it's very cheap. And also, look up at the sign. I'll put all the links, guys, and it's a nice pub, very cozy for drink, for food, and we are now on the Lower Petergate. And I'm absolutely dying with a hay fever.
I've just got out of the sun a bit, otherwise we're just going to be glaring.
I think there was sap from the trees or something gave me a bit of a hay fever attack.
Plenty of souvenir shops here in York, of course.
Even if you forgot souvenirs in London, you could buy them here.
Yep.
So,
London buses.
Yeah, don't worry about buying souvenirs in London. Come to York and buy them. So as I was saying, three-legged mare, very nice pub for drink. You could go there with children. We have during the day. I never know all those things, Like personally, I wouldn't take the children past sort of 6 o'clock into a pub, because obviously they need to go to sleep at 7:30, 8, and there's a bit of a routine. But during the day or late afternoon, it's totally acceptable in my view. And here it brings us to...
Here we are, directly in front of the York Minster. Just trying to dodge that bright sun this morning.
There's a place here.
It's an absolute fascinating building.
Called Bennett.
And what you've also got is here a model.
2010, I was best man in a wedding.
Yeah. York Millennium Project. There you are. Who needs a drone when you can just fly over York?
4 times a year. Friends of mine manage. Beach. The lovely thing about Rome.
Carry on. I hope the park is open.
I can see somebody sat in the park, actually. There's me falling over the steps again.
Yes, you have to mind this. They're old cobbled streets.
So this is Dean's Park, right next to the York Minster.
Fancy an ice cream or coffee. It's a good one to stop after your Minster tour. For the little ones, I must mention, in the Minster, go in, and York residents get a free entry with the York residence card, but you can get a little explorer's backpacks in the Minster, and they could just go and tick off things. It's like one of those treasure hunts, and I think it's a really good way to occupy kids on a rainy day. Give them 2 how many children you have. You get a backpack each, and off they go. You could take pictures, videos, and admire the Gothic architecture while they get busy looking at the walls and looking for things and spotting things.
So talking about spotting things, look who I spotted. Look, there's Paddington Bear.
Putting the Paddington Bear got a lot of attraction in the media.
He's sat here having a look at the York Minster.
And I love Paddington. We love Paddington books. He's a national treasure, isn't he? I'm so glad they did it this year. The kids love running up to him and taking pictures and trying to eat his sandwich, or take his hat, but not in a violent or any sort of way.
Has he got another marmalade sandwich underneath his hat? For the just in case?
Maybe. We'll never know.
Best watch out, because marmalade's dripping out the bottom of his sandwich there.
And see, please look after this bear. So I feel like the city is looking after this bear very well. And
it'd be lovely. The people in Yorkshire, they're lovely. That's why we love living here. But yeah,
I don't
talking about the
know.
York Minster, what you can do as well, you can actually go up to the towers up the top and walk
Yeah.
along. It's amazing.
Extra charge
I've
though.
done it.
Remember, it's an extra charge.
It is an extra charge, but alone just to come here, you know, to see the gardens, the parks, it's beautiful.
And let us know, are you the sort of person who would like to go inside and explore all the corners of the building, or you just kind of outside architecture explorer? Do you just love looking at the buildings and just kind of ask yourselves, how did they do this all these years ago with a very different equipment to what we have now? Another thing I must mention is York Minster has its own police.
There he is, Mr. Policeman.
And that's a very unique point. So you don't mess with them, you don't mess with the Minster, they'll kick you out. They are very special, and they only look after the Minster in this city of York.
Well, it is one of the most iconic buildings in Yorkshire, I think.
We'll put a link down below. The gift shop is well worth exploring as well. And the bells ringing. The bells are ringing. They are welcoming visitors. It's a gorgeous building.
So here we are, we're at the West End, and we're going to walk around to the South Transept. So back in 2018, I actually did the All Yorkshire Marathon, and we actually ran from over there and ran past the York Minster. It was such an amazing feeling because the bells were ringing constantly. Yeah, it gave such an adrenaline rush.
Yeah, so there's a project, so St. Michael's Belfry, a great church next to Minster, and they're doing a bit of renovation.
I do love it how the sunlight catches, you know, all the stonework. We'll take you around to the one of the nicest windows on the York Minster. What's that window called?
Stained glass windows.
No, the special one at the front here. So that's another way to get into the shop if you just want to browse.
Yeah, you can access the shop without visiting the Minster. And a quick tip on if you're here and if you fancy a kind of a nice posh meal, you know, or a posh drink and sit on a terrace, just walk out there. Walk out there.
So Elena's on about over there, but what I want to do, I'm going to give you this shot here, because I think that is one of the most beautiful fronts, and there's that wonderful window at the top. So that's where we are at the moment. So we started off here, all the walls, all the way down to Booth and Bar, and we're just cutting in to here now. So we're near Minster Gates. Hello.
Hello. Who wants to go for a walk and not have a meal after it, or, you know, at least some sort of a snack? So if you come into York for a special occasion, you're celebrating an anniversary or a birthday, I would say, or if you're having a romantic weekend, there's no better place than a restaurant with the Minster views. Let's have a look.
Because look at that view. It's so beautiful.
And that's incredible.
So this is actually Minster Gardens here, this area. So a lovely place to come, to sit down, enjoy the weather. They have bins around here, so you know you can easily have a picnic. And this is York Minster Refectory. And the way the sun is just blinding. But this is very, very nice. If you want some nice foods, definitely somewhere to come. There we go. I left Elena behind, had a little wander. Oh yeah,
So
you're there again.
I recently celebrated my birthday at the refectory, and yeah, truly enjoyed it. I had a vegetarian meal. It was a baked aubergine with some barley, which was lovely and heartwarming, even though it was in July. And I had oysters for starters, so that was really nice. And a glass of prosecco, of course.
Fine dining.
It definitely is fine dining, and I love the terrace here. So it used to be a Minster school, for anybody knows, and it shut down, renovated, and by a local
Right,
chef
there we go.
turned into a restaurant. So it's quite renowned and known locally and beyond York. And York, maybe one day we'll do a feature on York famous restaurants, or kind of a, you know, posh restaurants of York.
That's so amazing here. They got a little touchscreen where you can actually view the food. It's beautiful, look at that. Absolutely gorgeous.
I personally love these chairs that they've got up now, all beach vibe at the Minster. But I love the building itself. You know, obviously the food is important when you're going to eat somewhere, and the service and all those things. But you know, it's not the cheapest of the place. It is pricey, and there's a lot of other places in York you'll find they're probably as good, but you don't have these views, and the building is very unique. So when I come here, it's purely for that luxury kind of white tablecloth dining experience. Something special occasion. I might celebrate my birthday again this year here. You never know. We'll take you.
As I mentioned before, York Minster's got scaffolding up, and you can just see there. It's the York Minster stone yard.
Yeah.
So the masons constantly work.
And not to miss a little at the back of this, not every city has it, but there is a little National Trust gift shop here. So if you are looking for something unique, special, maybe something historic or Yorkshire, or a gift for a gardener or collector or anything like that, this is the workshop.
Yeah, this is stone yard. So there you go.
Let me show my favorite part of York. The city. Around this Minster, I have lots of favorite spaces in York, but I feel like this at the back here, you've got the little National Trust shop there on the corner. You see that little cute building. Actually, you could book an Airbnb right in this area, or is it a National Trust property? I can't remember, but there is a flat you can book. So let's over. So this is a college, and this is college, the Minster. But I personally love this area here. This little park here is incredible. I mean, we've showed you the museum gardens and the walls and all those things, but I just think this is just such a cute spot for a little chill, read a book, have a coffee, you know, watch the people go by, admire all the trees and the buildings. And I mean, I know you can hear this.
The work's going on
Work's going on at
behind
the
us.
moment. I just promise you, it's normally not like that.
But this is a
Look at this
beautiful
building.
side of the
This
Minster
is
as well.
Minster College, I believe. It's a college street, and next to it is a little tea room. Well, apparently the York Minster Conference and Banqueting Centre. I always thought, well, originally it was a college, but now it's a banqueting centre, banquet. Am I pronouncing it right? I don't know. So the tea room here is good for the terrace, and generally it's one of those spots I like to retreat to after walking, shopping, eating in the city. Or sometimes if you're waiting for somebody, it's a
There
good
you
place
go.
to meet.
So this is College Street, of course, because the old college there.
And it's very central to anywhere you want to go in York, really. You want to go to visit Treasurer's House or Shambles Market, or hang out at the pub for music.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
Cross Keys on the corner.
This Kiss is good, and they do live music, and they do have Sky Sports if you're into sports.
There you go. So
The National Trust shop.
National Trust gift shop.
Yeah, and you're very close to Old York here, so the ghosts. I feel like we need to do a separate vlog about the ghosts of York. Let us know if you'd be interested to see Ghosts of York. There's a little cute little shop called Nice to See. I feel like we need to make a stop here now to have a coffee. There we are. So $7.60 for 2 lattes to go, and it's a nice little place actually. This is a Polish cafe and bakery, and it's called Nice to See You, and it's the first time us trying it. So guys, we're gonna wrap up this vlog, and if you'd like to see more of York or anything specific, you know, whether it's a shop or Harry Potter shop or anything, or Christmas shops, which we have lots, please let us know in the comments below, and like and subscribe.